What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. We are rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates, so if you want to stay up to date between now and transfer deadline day and the window slamming shut for Manchester City, make sure you have subscribed. I'll keep you up to date here on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up. 500 likes. We're going really ambitious today. 500 likes, any help towards that would be much appreciated. And also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below. So we're going to start off with the contract news. Got the very latest on Bernardo Silva, and Rob Dawson says that Bernardo Silva, he's close to signing a new deal at Manchester City. Kyle Walker, not far behind him, he's close to signing a new deal as well. And Record in Portugal have said that Bernardo Silva, he's set to sign that contract today. Doesn't mean it's going to be announced today, it just means it's going to be signed and sealed. I imagine Man City, for their own social media pages, will want to do a big announcement and videos and stuff. So the announcement may not come today. It might also come today. Who knows? Hopefully, when I'm reporting tomorrow on my next daily Manchester City transfer update, we will have Bernardo Silva on a new contract and hopefully no release clause. I've heard rumours that there is. I've heard rumours that there isn't. We'll wait and see what the details are now. Moving on to the outs, the very latest on Maximo Perrone. He's very close now to joining UD Las Palmas in Spain on a season-long loan. Going to be a good experience for him. La Liga football under his belt for a year. Should be a really good loan move, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed what has already been put out there, which is there is no purchase option for Las Palmas. It is just a straight-up loan. He'll return back to Manchester City next summer, and word from City is they hold Maximo Perrone in high esteem. They want to keep him. He's going to be an important midfielder in the future, so he will stay at City. It is just a straight loan for this season. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Kalvin Phillips. Pretty strange this, but TalkSport are saying Liverpool, they're considering making a move for Kalvin Phillips. Liverpool want to test Manchester City and Kalvin Phillips' resolve between now and transfer deadline day, as it did look like Kalvin Phillips was going to be staying at the Etihad and fight for another season in what is going to be a really big, really important season for Kalvin Phillips. It's pretty much a make or break season for him if he does end up staying at Manchester City. Now, Alan Nixon has said that Man City are concerned about the development of Kalvin Phillips, and because of that, they want to get him back on track, and they've identified a way to do that, and that would be through a loan. My problem I have with loaning Kalvin Phillips, I think it would be a really good idea if we had a lot of depth already, and that was the reason Kalvin Phillips wasn't getting in the squad. We don't have a lot of depth, and he's not getting in the squad because I don't think Pep Guardiola trusts him. I don't think he's as good as Man City's midfield right now, so he's not getting their minutes, so it's going to be pretty difficult for him to get into the Manchester City squad, and if we do choose to loan him, we're going to need more depth in our team. I'm really concerned about our depth, so in terms of that, it doesn't make sense, but in terms of loaning him out, it makes perfect sense. So I don't know what is going to happen. Word from earlier in the summer is he wants to stay at Manchester City. He sees it as a failure if he doesn't end up staying at Manchester City, so we'll see. Now moving on, got an update on Joao Cancelo, and Paul Ballus over at The Athletic has confirmed that Barcelona are finalising a loan deal for Joao Cancelo, and it should be sorted this week. He says it's going to be an option to buy, not an obligation to buy, but Rob Dawson, interestingly, has said that Cancelo's loan is going to be an obligation to buy for £25 million. However, other reliable sources are insisting, including Fabrizio Romano, that it's an option to buy, not an obligation to buy. I don't have too much of a problem with this deal if it is an obligation to buy. I personally think it's going to be an option to buy because it's an easier thing to get sorted, and we all know that Barcelona with an option to buy aren't going to make that permanent next summer, so I think we'll just be back in this boat again with a year less on Joao Cancelo's contract for next summer. So again, we'll see. Now, moving on, final update of the outs takes us on to an update on Aymeric Laporte, and Sky Sports News have confirmed that Aymeric Laporte has now travelled to Saudi Arabia yesterday to complete his medical, to sign his contract and complete his move to Al-Nassr. The fee is believed to be just under £24 million, £23.5 million, which, if the obligation to buy is there for Joao Cancelo, for less than 50 million quid, you could pick up Cancelo and Aymeric Laporte. I'd love to know your thoughts of that, guys. guys in the comments below. I think it's for another video to say, are Man City very good at selling high-quality first-team players? When it comes to youngsters, we're brilliant, but when it comes to first-team players, Anyway, moving on, Lucas Paqueta, the very latest on him as we move on to the ins. Rob Dawson has said that Manchester City did have a deal with West Ham just before the betting allegations came out. It was a deal worth £85 million, and it could be a deal that Man City choose to pursue after this window. West Ham, I think, are pushing really hard for this betting allegations and meetings and stuff to take place after the transfer window, so it's not sorted, so they don't lose Lucas Paqueta. That could be something City explore maybe in January if he manages to clear his name, or Man City may want to look onto other alternatives instead. But as of right now, the deal completely collapsed. It isn't happening. These betting allegations have ended that transfer, and I think that's forced Manchester City's hand in this transfer market, as that takes us really nicely onto Jeremy Doku. Now, Jacob Steinberg has said that there's an asking price from Stade Rennais for £47 million. Fabrizio Romano was reporting yesterday afternoon City were continuing to push for Jeremy Doku, and they weren't concerned about West Ham's bid. They were confident that they'll get a verbal agreement at some point this week, and City were going to launch that formal bid at some point this week as well, and word was that Manchester City want Jeremy Doku. Now, TalkSport was saying that Jeremy Doku's told Stade Rennais he wants to join Manchester City and Manchester City only. City were working on a package between 55 to 60 million euros, which is around the asking price that Stade Rennais were asking for, which is what I was covering on my talk show for my transfer show yesterday when speaking about the transfers. And then literally just after I'd pressed to stop going live, about 5 minutes later, we had a massive news story come out, and it came in the form of Sacha Tavolieri saying that a total agreement had been reached between Manchester City and Stade Rennais. It was a deal worth 65 million euros, according to him. He says Doku flies to England today, medical scheduled for Wednesday, and we were finally getting some movement. Now, Sky Sports News have said that Doku's travelled to the UK today ahead of a medical. They didn't put clarification on when that medical was going to be, but Fabrizio Romano has definitely said the medical, the first part of it, will be taking place tomorrow. So at some point today, Blues start tracking them planes. At some point, Jeremy Doku will be landing in the United Kingdom ahead of a move to Manchester City. Fabrizio Romano has given Jeremy Doku the here we go to Manchester City. The MEN have said that 65 million euros, which is 55 million pounds, is what the deal is. It's not going to be one straight up front fee from Manchester City. Fabrizio Romano has said these payments are going to be split over numerous amounts of years with equal payments being paid. So I imagine it probably going to be over 3, 4, maybe even 5 years to get that sorted. Fab was saying it's a deal worth £50 million, not £55 million, but says that the medical is scheduled in for tomorrow. Personal terms verbally being agreed. No problem with that at all. The deal's happening, and the final news that we have on that, Sacha Tavolieri over in Belgium has confirmed Jeremy Doku's going to be wearing the number 11 shirt for Manchester City. The new number 11, Jeremy Doku, is going to be a Manchester City player. Finally, we're getting a bit of movement. The question now is, get this sorted this week, and then we've got over a week to focus to try and bring somebody else in. As I said, Paqueta's deal falling has forced our hand here with Jeremy Doku. Be interested now to see if City continue to push to try and bring somebody else in particular with central midfielders. Now, moving on, very latest on Florian Wirtz, and Fabrizio Romano says that despite Manchester City's interest in Florian Wirtz, Bayer Leverkusen quite simply aren't offering a price. They're not keen to sell, and they want to keep him basically, and said a crazy bid is what it's going to take to sign him. Florian Wirtz has said he wants to stay in Germany. He wants to be in that Germany squad for the European Championships, coincidentally taking place in Germany next summer. He feels like the best chance of that happening is if he's playing in the Bundesliga and playing with Bayer Leverkusen, and apparently this crazy bid is going to take an offer of over 100 million euros to sign him this summer. Apparently that's going to be the case next summer as well. So is that a viable option with a player who's not got the best track record when it comes to injuries? Again, as I said before, we'll have to wait and see. On a final story, not really transfer related, but is involving Manchester City. It involves Pep Guardiola. He's undergone an operation on his back. It's been a successful operation. He's now going to be staying in Barcelona where his operation is. He's in rehab. He's going to be doing his full recovery there, and he'll be returning back to Manchester City after the international break. So our next 2 Premier League games against Sheffield United away and Fulham at at home. We're not going to have Pep Guardiola there, but everyone here at the JSGC channel wishing Pep Guardiola a very speedy recovery there. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. As I said, leave a thumbs up. 500 likes is the aim. City are set to sign a player. Let's get 500 likes. What's not to like about that? Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and slide across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on daily Manchester City transfer updates coming for you guys to look forward to. We're on that push to 32,000 subscribers, less than 800 subs away, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. Can we get there by deadline day? It's ambitious, but we'll have to wait and see. And also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.